So when it comes to the topic server-side components. So in this video, I am just explaining about server-side components, not server-side rendering. So make sure of it. And when it comes to server-side components, you heard this term mostly in next.js. That means these server-side components are introduced along with app router in next.js. So what do you mean by a server-side component? Server-side components is a component that is executed and rendered at the server side, not at the client side. So that means these server-side components, for the server-side components, the JS execution will be happened at server side, and after executing that JS, HTML file will be generated, that is based on the JSX that we have written. It will, that means in the server itself, HTML file will be generated for that particular component. So whenever a client requests a particular server, that means whenever a client requests any page that includes server-side components, so the server will just return a HTML file which do not have any JS related code. That means I'll explain you the flow, then you will get a clear understanding. So if you consider any web application, let's say we have server side components. So client request, the first step is client request, and in response, server will send only a HTML file. There is no JavaScript code that is attached to it. It is a plain HTML file. So that means for the server side components, the HTML file will be already generated at the server side, and in response, the server will only sends a HTML file. There is no JS file. So for these server side components, there is no interactivity, because the interactivity comes only when there is JavaScript. So that's why these particular server side components will do not have any interactivity. That means for example, if you have on click event, on mouse over, these are just examples. So if you consider these event listeners, they will not, they will be not executed for these server side components. So because we only have HTML file, this do not have JS attached to it. So that's why for the server side components, there is no interactivity. And I think you got the clear idea on what are server side components. So for server side components, there are benefits as well as there are some negative sides. So first I'll explain you about the benefits. Benefits with RSC. That means React Server Components. So the first and foremost benefit is SEO. So if you have any server-side component, it has added advantage, that is SEO. So these server-side components are much more compatible with SEO. That means they cooperate with search engine optimization. So if you have any HTML file, that means if you consider any page in a particular web application, if it has some metadata information, then crawlers are crawlers are able to reach those particular web pages, and these metadata information will rank higher. So that's why these server-side components are much more compatible with SEO. And the second thing is bundle size. Yeah, the second advantage is bundle size. So if we have server components, uh, these server side components will not affect bundle size, not affect bundle size, because these server side components will be uh, at server side only. They will not be downloaded to client side. That's why these server side components will not affect bundle size. With this, performance also improved, because if we have less bundle size at the client side, irrespective of the resources, these components will not use the resources at the client side, right? So that's why the performance will be increased. And these are the some of the benefits that are with server side components. And the next thing is issues. Issues with server side components. So the first thing is interactivity. So in server side components, there is no interactivity, because there is no JS, because uh, from server client will only get HTML file. That's why it do not have any JS attached to it, and there is no interactivity for the server side components. This is one of the issue that I have found with server side components, and this is the only issue. If I found anything, I'll also mention in the description. So these are the benefits, issues, and the flow between client and server in the context of server side components. So this is this is about the server side components, guys. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. For more informative videos, please subscribe. That's it, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.